If you believe you may have any information pertaining to either of these cases, you are urged to contact the Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation on 307-777-7181. At around 4:25 to 4:35 p.m. on the 1st of March 1992, a truck driver pulled into a lay-by on an area of the I-80 turnout known as the Bitter Creek in Sweetwater County, Wyoming, to change her fuel tanks. In the distance, the trucker saw what she thought was a pile of rubbish bags at the bottom of an embankment. The more she looked at these rubbish bags, the more suspicious they seemed to her. When she descended the embankment and took a closer look, she realized that what she was looking at was not a pile of rubbish bags, but rather the lifeless, nude body of a young woman lying face down in the snow. The body looked as though it had been thrown down the embankment from inside a truck. Undoubtedly horrified, the trucker radioed and another nearby trucker picked up the transmission. She told them about her discovery and then they forwarded the information to the authorities. A post-mortem ascertained that the woman could have been dead for anywhere between 1 and 5 months. Due to the cold temperatures in the area in which she was found, her body had been well preserved and her face was still recognizable. It's likely that she remained undiscovered for so long because the heavy snowfall concealed her body. The manner of death was quickly determined to have been homicide. There was trauma to the face consistent with a physical beating, evidence to show that the victim had been both vaginally and anally sexually assaulted, and signs of strangulation. What ultimately killed her was an ice pick or a similar object that had been inserted into her left nostril and had pierced through her sphenoid bone and into her brain. It is believed that the killing occurred elsewhere to the site of discovery. Due to the sophistication of the killing, police thought that the killer may have been a serial offender. The killer did leave behind an amount of their blood, which was type O. The victim was a 24 to 32-year-old female of mixed European and South American descent. She was approximately 5 feet 6 inches to 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed around 125 to 130 pounds. She had collar-length dark brown or black hair, dark brown to almost black eyes, a tattoo of a rose on her right breast, previous dental work, a vertical scar on her abdomen possibly resulting from a prior cesarean section, and a 1-inch scar on her left calf. Though a pair of sweatpants and a pair of pink-coloured panties were found in close proximity to the victim, all she was found wearing was a gold-coloured necklace and a gold-coloured ring on her left ring finger, similar in style to a wedding band. Despite a thorough investigation, police at the time were unable to identify the victim, nor were they able to identify her killer. To this day, the victim remains unidentified. A number of months after news of the victim's death first circulated, a man in Tucson, Arizona came forward as the artist who had given the victim her rose tattoo in June 1991 at his parlor near the Triple T truck stop. Under hypnosis, he revealed that she was a fairly intelligent transient hitchhiker who spoke without a discernible accent. The day she received her tattoo, she had been wearing a brown peasant dress patterned with yellow flowers. Because she received her tattoo in Arizona, investigators conjectured that she may have been from or spent a significant amount of time there. Just over a month after this lady's body was found, on the 13th of April 1992, employees of the Wyoming Department of Transportation located the remains of another young woman in a ditch on the west side of the I-90 in Sheridan County, Wyoming, roughly 400 miles from where the body of the Sweetwater County victim was located. Though a cause of death could not be ascertained, her case is being investigated as a homicide. There were signs of her receiving a blow to the head with a heavy object. This could have been the cause of death, though it is not certain. In 2014, DNA evidence linked this victim to the woman found in Sweetwater County. It revealed that they had both fallen victim to the same killer. As with the victim located in Sweetwater County, this woman was believed to have died elsewhere and been dumped. Her post-mortem interval was approximately 2 months, meaning she likely died in February. Unlike the victim found in Sweetwater County, the Sheridan County victim was quite badly decomposed, being partially mummified. She was approximately 10 weeks pregnant at the time of her demise, and it was discovered that she had likely given birth to at least one child in the past. There was evidence of a sexual assault. The Sheridan County victim was of Caucasian descent and younger than the Sweetwater County victim at 16 to 23 years old. She stood about 5 feet 5 inches or 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed somewhere between 110 and 115 pounds. Her hair was shoulder length, slightly wavy and naturally brown, though it had been sun-bleached. Due to the level of decomposition, her eye color could not be determined. She had 5 fillings in teeth number 3, number 14, number 18, number 19, and number 30. This victim was found fully clad in brass sphere-shaped earrings, a white and blue checkered saucy brand midriff shirt with pearl ornamental buttons that was tied beneath the breasts, a chic brand light blue lacy support bra size 38C, a plastic white belt with a silver or gold-coloured buckle, a pair of blue Cayo of California brand jeans size 5 to 6, and a pair of Bill Blass brand dark blue and pink paisley pattern nylon bikini style panties size 5 to 6. No socks or shoes were found on or near the body. Her clothing and the fact that her hair had been sun-bleached suggests that she may have hailed from a state with a warmer climate in February. For almost 30 years, these 2 women have remained unidentified. For almost 30 years, their killer evaded justice. On the 6th of May 2020, the Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation arrested a suspect in the victim's murders. This suspect is a 59-year-old Iowa man named Clark Perry Baldwin. Baldwin has also been implicated in the 1991 murder of a 32-year-old Virginia woman named Pamela Rose McCall and her unborn fetus. McCall's body was located propped up against a knoll in a wooded area off the I-65 in Spring Hill, Murray County, Tennessee on the 10th of March 1991. She'd only been dead for about 12 hours. Her cause of death was manual strangulation, and like the 2 still unidentified victims, she had been sexually assaulted. Like the Sheridan County victim, she was fully clad but for a lack of footwear. As aforementioned, she was several months pregnant at the time of her death. Her body had been stripped of identification, thus she lay unclaimed in the morgue for a month until a fingerprint match was made. McCall's mother described her as happy-go-lucky and a whimsical free spirit with no permanent address. Reportedly, she had gone to Tennessee to visit some friends. On the night of her murder, she had supposedly gotten into a fight with her boyfriend, who had picked her up at a truck stop. The argument was reportedly quite heated, so he stopped the car and let her get out at the side of the road at around midnight. It's conjectured that she hitched a ride from her killer not long after she left her boyfriend's vehicle. Baldwin, a former long-haul trucker, was linked to all 3 murders using DNA taken from semen and blood found at the scenes, which matched his. Investigators are currently looking into whether or not he can be linked to other homicides. Allegedly, Baldwin was abusive towards his ex-wife's children, who he lived with in Nashua, New Hampshire, from circa 1985 up until the divorce in 1988. Baldwin's former stepdaughter claimed that this abuse included beating her and her siblings with belts and holding their heads underwater in the bath. According to court documents, Baldwin was accused of sexually assaulting a 21-year-old hitchhiker at gunpoint in Wheeler County, Texas in 1991. She claimed that during the assault, Baldwin had bound her at the wrists, gagged her, struck her on the head, and then attempted to choke her to death, all whilst they were still in his truck. Baldwin reportedly admitted to this assault, but he was released pending grand jury proceedings and the charges were dropped when the state was unable to locate the woman who accused him. In 1992, Baldwin's name was on law enforcement's radar once again. His ex-wife told them that he had supposedly bragged about, quote, killing a girl out west by strangulation and throwing her out of his truck, unquote. A number of years later, in 1997, Baldwin was arrested on suspicion of counterfeiting currency alongside 2 of his female associates. He was charged with 2 counts of possession of false currency and spent 18 months in prison before being released in 1999. Baldwin was recently charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and, as of the 27th of May 2020, has been extradited to Tennessee and is currently being held in the Murray County Jail on a $1 million bond. His court appearance is scheduled for the 1st of June at 8:30 a.m. He will face the charges in Wyoming after those in Tennessee are resolved. Hopefully, justice can soon be served for these victims. I'll let you all know in the pinned comment when there are updates concerning Baldwin. Both the Sweetwater County victim and the Sheridan County victim have several missing person rule-outs listed on NamUs. For brevity's sake, I'll put these rule-outs in the description. Thank you to both Miss Astrology and Heather Nicky for suggesting that I cover these cases. It's a relief that their alleged killer has finally been caught. I do hope that these ladies can be identified sooner rather than later. Keep in mind that there was evidence to suggest that they were both mothers. Someone must be missing them. While an arrest has been made, the investigation into these women's murders is still ongoing. Again, if you believe you may have any information pertaining to either of these cases, you are urged to contact the Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation on 307-777-7181. Thank you very much for giving the cases of Bitter Creek Betty and Sheridan County Jane Doe a moment of your day.